Yale University released a study last week by 3 researchers, all of them liberal, I believe, who concluded that the actual number of illegal aliens in this country is not 11 million. It's north of 22 million. 22 million. Fact 1. Fact 2. The Democratic Party is now, as a matter of policy, calling for the legalization of all illegals in this country. Citizenship voting rights. 22 million new voters. Fact 3. The overwhelming majority of first-time immigrant voters vote Democrat. Fact 4. The largest margin in American presidential history was 17 million votes. 1984 election between Mondale and Reagan.
And Reagan, yeah.
17 million. You would add to our voter rolls 22 million, at least, permanent electoral majority in perpetuity. That's what this is about. It's not about making the country better, serving our labor needs, helping the population. It's about putting Democrats in power forever. That is the truth of our immigration debate, period.
And it's not just immigration. It's the voting system. It's the mail-in ballots. It's the gerrymandering. It's the censorship. It's the propaganda. It's communism, folks. We were lied to about Russiagate. We were lied to about Trump-Russia. We were lied to about Obamagate. Now we realize it almost 5 years later. But we already knew it. So we're in the process of their final phases, final cover-up, final lies about January 6th, where they want to put a bow on however they want the narrative to be, however they want the things to be carried out. And they lied about all of it. They lied about Kamala Harris. They lied about standing down. They lied about the people that died that day. I mean, just lie on top of lie on top of lie. So we'll either revisit it all in 5 years when it's too late, the crimes have already been committed without any punishment, just like with Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. So we're either going to accept all the lies of January 6th now, or we're going to have leaders that stand up and say, no, you lied about January 6th. Now we want to know why you stood down the police. Now we want to know why you stood down the National Guard. Why did you lie about where Kamala Harris was out? It's time for you to start answering some questions. At first, they thought the vaccines might have had 90% effectiveness, and then over time it went down to 80, and then 70. And then by the time Delta and Omicron were around, they couldn't show really any effectiveness. And then they decide that pretty much any mRNA vaccine after 4 months has 0% effectiveness, is what they've concluded in their latest document. Trudeau to unleash never-before-used Emergency Powers Act to counter protests as U.S.-Canada bridge reopens. Trudeau makes history, invokes emergency act to deal with trucker protests. Trudeau will reportedly invoke Emergencies Act, that was this morning, he's done it now, to crush Freedom Convoy protests. As Canada COVID protests continue, Trudeau invokes emergency powers. So what's he going to do now? He's already tried to have them all arrested. He's already had their food stolen, their gas stolen, their wood stolen. Next, they'll take the kids from them. I mean, what are they going to do now? This is a scandal far greater in scope and magnitude than Watergate, and those who were involved in and knew about this spying operation should be subject to criminal prosecution. In a stronger period of time in our country, this crime would have been punishable by death.
Interview Morgan Freeman had about 12 years ago on CBS. He was asked, how do we stop racism? And he simply said, stop talking about it. Stop calling me a black man. Stop calling him a white person. That's how I think we end this. Just stop talking about racism. And Disney and ESPN, they want to push it even out there, that it's out there, and they want to talk about it all the time. And I think it's just doing more damage than good.
And, you know, it's not just the employees that feel that they can't voice their opinions if they're a Christian conservative or voted for Trump because of all the leftist intolerance. You know, the same goes for the athletes. I mean, look at Aaron Rodgers, who really didn't even make a political statement. He didn't even make a political statement. He just said, hey, I'm not going to get the vaccine, but I'm immune or whatever. And he gets attacked and he gets called right wing and he gets called all these things. And it's like, he didn't even come out and make a political statement. He could have come out and made a political statement, I'm sure. He didn't. It just shows there's no tolerance for any dissent right now.
None, zero at all. And if you do speak up, you risk everything.